Hey guys, this is Kevin for Pixavert.com. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at the Darktable interface. Darktable is an open source package which is used for image editing. You can edit raw files or JPEGs. It's an open source package which is available free of charge, and you can install it in Windows, Linux, Mac OS. It's very flexible. The version I'm using here is Darktable 2.6.2, and we're going to be looking at the different sections inside of Darktable, seeing how everything fits together. When you first open Darktable, it will look a little bit like this, but you're not going to have any images. To import the images, you go to Import, and you can import a single image or select a bunch of images that you want to import, or you can go to Folder and import a whole folder. Now, when you import a folder, the folder will become stored as a film roll, and Darktable keeps track of everything you are working on inside of the section known as Collect Images. The images inside of Collect Images are referred to as collections, and you can see your recently used collections inside the recently used collections tab. There's another tab down here which is the information tab for each image, and as you just move your mouse around once you've imported images, you'll see that the information changes to reflect the data that Darktable has about your image. The left side of the screen when you first open up is therefore really about importing images and finding out information about those images. This part of the program is called Lighttable. There are other parts of the program. Darkroom is the section that you use for editing images. There are also other sections including Map, Slideshow, and Tethering. These are more advanced, and maybe we'll take a look at these in a future episode. I'm working inside of Windows. If I was not in Windows, there would be another section known as Print, and that would allow you to print your images. Now, when you first open up your images inside of Darktable, you'll see something like this, and this is the collection of all the images that you have. You can click and drag, and the thing about Darktable is that you can end up with tens of thousands of images inside a collection or inside the library that Darktable manages. For that reason, you may want to be able to very quickly find your images. This section here, which I'm scrolling in and out of, is called the Zoomable Lighttable. It's found in Lighttable, and it's basically the section of the program that gives this section its name. It's supposed to give you a visual cue as to where your images are. You can zoom in using the mouse wheel, zoom out, and hopefully you can locate your images as you build up your collection. You can change this to File Manager, and here when I scroll up and scroll down, we have the normal scroll up and scroll down behavior. We can change the thumbnail size using the slider here. So you can choose whichever of these two you prefer to work with. When you're zoomed in all the way, the image will show you some information in the top left-hand corner. And as you zoom out, you'll see that you get this data, which is the star rating that you've given an image or that someone else has given an image. Now, you can actually decide where this data appears. If you come up here and go to the star, click on that, it will allow you to see the data in full on all images, or you can go ahead and click on that and it will get rid of the data except on the image that you happen to be highlighting. Go to the View option, which is right at the top, and you can select which images you want to see, and this can be by star rating. You can also sort the images by different options, including time, rating, color label, and so on and so forth. It's a very good way of managing your image library. There's also on the right hand side a bunch of options that are really more relevant once you start editing images. But you might want to come here, for instance, select some images and edit the metadata, which you can do with this tab here called the Metadata Editor. We'll take a look at some of the other features in a later episode. One of the other things here which is interesting is the option here to expand grouped images. Now, sometimes with Darktable, you'll import not just raw files, which is mainly what we've got here, but sometimes you'll import raw files and JPEGs at the same time. And if Darktable recognizes that two images are basically the same, one is a raw and one is a JPEG, it will group them together. If you want to see the grouped images individually, you can click up here on the G and it will expand the grouped images. If I do that now, what you'll see is that some images are repeated several times. For instance, this image I've edited a number of times. And if I just zoom out, you can see the different edits here. If I double click on an image, it takes me into Darkroom, which is where the edits are actually done. If I want to go back to Lighttable, I can click on the letter L, and that will take me back to Lighttable. Equally, if I click on D, that will take me to Darkroom. If I click back on L, we go back to Lighttable, and if I hit the Tab key, we lose the junk at the sides. If I hit Control and H, we lose all the junk at the top. And you can also control the interface by clicking on the triangles here. So if I want to reveal the stuff on the left, I can click on the triangle to reveal that or to hide it. Similarly, with this section here, I can hide or reveal that. When we're inside of Darkroom, there is a tab at the bottom, and that's a very useful one. It contains a film strip of all the images that you're editing at that moment. If we click here, we go into Lighttable, and the other thing I want to show you here is that there is an option here for settings. So these are the Darktable preferences, and you may want to go here once you're a little bit more confident and edit some of the settings here. Initially though, I would actually be a little bit shy about editing anything here just in case you break something. Let's go ahead and look now at Darkroom, which is where the editing is done. Here again, if I press Tab, we can hide the junk at the sides. Control H hides the junk at the top. And we can bring out the main editing modules by clicking on the triangles there. On the left hand side, we've got a bunch of modules that really become useful as you start editing the images. On the right hand side, we've got stuff which is actually used in editing the images. And these are the modules for editing. The modules that are being used in any edit are available when you click on this button here. It shows you what is actually active inside the image that you're editing. The star relates to favorited modules. You can take a module and make it favorite by right-clicking on it and clicking on favorite, or you can unfavorite it, just as I've done there. The next tab or the next group contains the basic edits, and these are edits that we need to do to most or all images. Next, we have the tonal groups or the tone group. These are edits that affect the light balance inside the image. Next, we have the color tab or the color group. The color group consists of modules that are used mainly for editing color or for making things black and white. If I click here, the image should become black and white. So the groupings here are all pretty logical. However, sometimes you'll find some things that you think should be in the basic group that are actually, say, for instance, in the correction group. The correction group is the second from the right, and it contains things like noise reduction. You can do lens correction. These are really basic stuff that I don't think most people enjoy doing, but which are essential. And it also contains the sharpening options. Finally, on the right hand side, we've got the special effects. Now we've got also here the graduated density filter, which is something I wouldn't consider really a special effect. It's something I would have put, say, for instance, in the basic group or the tone group. But here we have a bunch of things like split toning, vignetting, things that you might want to use occasionally. Finally, down at the bottom, we've got the More Modules module. Here we find all the editing stuff that you could ever want to use inside of Darktable. There are also workspaces. So if I click on the hamburger icon, you can tell that there are a number of different workspaces that have been saved already. You can also save your own workspace. Now, the understanding of the modules really is something that you get as you do more and more edits, and hopefully we'll be going through some edits together. This image here, as I've shown already, consists of several different edits, and if we go to the duplicate manager, you'll see that these different edits are all piled up here. If I go out of here back into Lighttable, we can see these different edits, and we can zoom in like this. So you can use the arrow keys to navigate around inside of Lighttable. So that's basically the introduction to Darktable. Hopefully you've liked some of that stuff. If you want to see more of the same, leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and I'll catch you guys later.